Yes, guys, welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV for your pre-match pub-up for Tottenham as we travel to Craven Cottage tonight to take on Fulham in the second round of the Carabao Cup. Now, before we welcome in the guests, I see so many people asking me, where can you watch the game? So, look, it's not actually being shown in the UK and Ireland. It's not on telly, but in the USA, it is on ESPN+, and in Australia, it's on BN Sports. So, look, you're going to have to find some way of maybe, getting a VPN or something like that and hopping on one of them channel links or something to watch the game tonight. But it is not on in the UK and Ireland. So, I'm just giving you plenty of notice now where the games are on worldwide. And hopefully that way you can find a link to it somehow or the other. But, of course, tonight kickoff is at 7:45 p.m. No VAR in use tonight. And Josh Smith is the referee. And on the injury news, Gail Bentancur says shall be missing for Tottenham, and Willian and the suspended Calvin Bassey, who picked up a red card at the weekend after receiving 2 yellows, is suspended tonight as well. But look, we've got Paul joining us today as well. Paul, how are you keeping, my man? You pumped for today?
I'm excited. I'm excited, man. It's do or die, isn't it? It's the cup. It's something special. So, the quest for the treble continues tonight, man. Can't wait.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I'm very, very excited myself. Amir, my man, how are you keeping? You excited for a cup run?
I'm absolutely pumped today, David. And you know why else? It's because I've got a sneaky feeling. Well, where's he gone there? He's disappeared. And he's back. I'm just really, really hoping to see my man Solomon get a start, get that starting position. And I got a sneaky feeling he might do the business today. So I'm absolutely buzzing for this one. And just to add, it's an absolute disgrace that the match is not shown in the UK and Ireland. That's just a travesty, really.
Yeah, I don't understand why any TV companies never, sort of picked it up or something like that. I think it's a disgrace. The amount of times, the amount of money that fans pay to watch football, they should sort of have access to tonight's game. It's an absolute joke. I definitely agree with you. So Sky Sports, TNT Sports, Premier Sports, you need to do better. You need to make sure that us Spurs fans have these games to watch. It's the only all-Premier League side around. Surely one of them should have picked it up for sure. Absolutely agree with that. Look, Paul, Postecoglou, he did say he was going to make some sort of changes today. What changes would you like to see today, Paul?
Oh, I'd like to have a look at Solomon. Ames said that he'd make changes, but it's with a view to winning the game, which is nice to hear. That I think we've got a manager that isn't going to put the cup games to one side. So, whatever changes are made, I'm sure it's still going to be a competitive outfit. Our B team did all right against Barcelona. So I'm very hopeful. It's not like last year where we knew as soon as we'd see the lineup for these cup games, my heart would fall, and you just know that the exit sign is hanging over our heads. But I think it's going to be very, very different tonight.
I really do hope so. But Paul, I mean, is there fear that the changes could lead to a drop-off in quality and performances? Because we've seen that down the years, right? We've made a couple of changes here and there to cup squad games, and ultimately it's been to our detriment, and we've gone out, and they've all been away from home.
Well, I think Ange is busy building a 25-headed beast, a football beast. So it looks like all the players have adapted well. Sure, some of the players haven't got the speed or technique or skills of what we've been seeing recently, but they still seem to be a fairly safe pair of hands, steady. They can play the short, sharp passes. Maybe a bit simpler than the likes of Basuma or Maddison and Sarr, but they can still do a job with a bit of luck.
For sure. Amir, you alluded to you want to see Solomon tonight. Does that mean you're resting Kulusevski?
Oh yeah, there'd be a few of them that I'd rest tonight. Give them a little break. Kulu being one of them. I think Madders as well will get a little break. The one I'm humming and hawing about is Basuma, because a lot of people, thinking he'll get a little rest. But I think he's so critical for us controlling that midfield that Bissouma might actually get the start. But yeah, we'll see.
Look, I think I'm all right with Højbjerg coming in for Bissouma. Obviously, Højbjerg doesn't offer, what Bissouma offered in terms of ball carrying, right? Bissouma can run at people, take 2-3 players out the game, and really sort of open it up for us going forward. And I do hear you. I mean, taking him out, it will be a huge loss. But for me, I thought he looked a bit tired coming off against Bournemouth at the weekend, though, Amir.
So you think just player management, leave him on the bench and stick Højbjerg in there?
Yeah, I would. There's certain areas that I wouldn't make changes. I think at centre back I wouldn't. At goalkeeper I wouldn't. But I do think you could maybe take out Bissouma and bring in Højbjerg. However, I don't want Skip then playing if Højbjerg's playing, because I don't think it's progressive enough. I don't think it's good enough, and I don't think you've got enough ball carriers or enough players in there that can manipulate the ball. But look, I wouldn't be opposed to someone like Højbjerg starting today over Bissouma. But look, for me, I think today will be a huge test of our strength in depth, though, Paul. Right? You said, Postecoglou's trying to build a 25-man headed beast. I mean, that relies on players coming to the fore, right? Coming to the party, stepping in on nights like tonight, and getting the job done and getting results done where they haven't previous.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing Højbjerg in for Bissouma. I mean, the conditions were pretty lousy at Bournemouth. I know they're all professionals and all that, but it's harder conditions than just playing on a nice afternoon with a soft breeze. So maybe that had something to do with it. But if he's knackered, give him a rest. I hope our defence doesn't change too much. I hope we have Vicario, Van der Ven, and Romero, because that's a nice triangle of defensive power. And I think if we've shored up that end of the pitch, which their defence has been doing really well so far this year, then the pressure's off the outfield players a little bit.
For sure. Just quickly, Tanganga is rumoured to be joining Torino, possibly on loan. Isn't that the club that Perez Shores plays for? If I'm correct, no?
Could be. I think so. Is that a new link? Is that confirmed?
It's by DiMarzio, just put out there by DiMarzio. So it'll be interesting to see if that means, are we potentially looking to loan them out there so that we can maybe take Perez Shores off them and give them a solution rather than have to find a centre back over the last few days in the window. So it'll be very, very interesting to see if that happens, if that pans out, and could there be another new centre back on its way to White Hart Lane. It'd be very interesting to see. But Amir, go on.
We're dealing a lot. There seems to be a lot of these rumours where these teams are they're going out of their way to weaken their squads, aren't they? Like, Fulham, there's a rumour swapping Tosin for Dier, and now Tanganga for Shores. Or was it who was it? Was it Tanganga or Sanchez?
Tanganga,
yeah. Which is good for us.
Yeah. Look, like I said, let's wait and see what happens. I mean, we've heard thousands of rumors this summer. In reality, only 4 or 5 of them have been absolutely true. So we'll wait and see what happens there. But Amir, how many changes is too many changes tonight, though? Because I do feel if we make too many, it lead off to the drop off in quality, and we will. We will end up we'll end up losing the game if we bring in the likes of Sanchez and Davies across that back line. I think the drop off in quality is too much. I think if you bring in Skip and Højbjerg into that midfield, I don't think the two of them can play together. So many changes is too many. Like Ange Postecoglou did allude that we will be making changes today because he wants to win the game. But he also said, we also want to keep the quality and intensity. So Where do you envision the majority of these changes coming? Because everyone's talking about different areas. Will it be midfield? Will it be at winger? Will it be up front? Will it be at fullbacks? Where do you anticipate them to be made?
So this is the thing, what Paul was saying there about keeping Mickey van der Ven, Romero, and Big Vic up in between the sticks. For me, you've got to include Udogie as well in that. I think he will get the start as well because they got some pacey wingers. And, with his lightning pace, he shouldn't have a problem defending against them. On the other side, Porro, there is a question there is, will Emerson coming in there, shore us up a little bit more defensive-wise. I could see maybe Emerson getting a run out, so that might be one change there in the back line that we could see. When it comes down to the front three, Richie, for me, he stays in there. He's got to get himself a goal. And I just think with, possibly Son on one side and Solomon on the other side, he's going to get a lot of balls into him. And then I can see for Madders, Lo Celso coming in and playing that role and being the creative one there in the middle. And like I said, I think Basuma will get the start. I think he's too good of a player to put on the bench for this cup game. So then the only position left is that place right in the middle, that 8. And I think he might favour Skip. We've seen quite a bit of him and he did all right, have a good pre-season. So he might get the run out there for me. That's what I'm thinking. Basuma, Skip, and your man Lo Celso there in the middle.
Well, Postecoglou did say Lo Celso will play. So it'll be interesting to see whether it's alongside a Maddison or instead of a Maddison. Paul, what do you think Ange will do there? Lo Celso and Maddison together or rest Maddison and play Lo Celso?
Oh no, my gut feeling would be that if he's playing Lo Celso, he'd be replacing Maddison. It would be fun to see what they could do together, but I think it'd be Lo Celso and Maddison. Or I'd like to say Lo Celso, Højbjerg, and maybe Sarr. I don't want to see Skip, to be honest. I think that's a step too far. Maybe later on in the match, but not at the outset because I want to win it.
Yeah. Look, I think it'd be very fun to see Lo Celso and Maddison as the 2 number 8s with someone like Højbjerg in behind them, or even a Basuma in behind them. I think it'd be very exciting to see. I think, it'd be interesting to see whether Ange does make that change in the middle of the park or how many changes he makes in the middle of the park because we've won the midfield battles the last couple of games and we've went on to win the game. We're not a team that, want to be sitting back under pressure, this, that, and the other. So it'd be interesting to see what he does in the midfield and how many changes he actually makes. I think what players do survive aren't rotated, I think will definitely tell us who Ange Postecoglou's key players are to this system and who he feels he can't do without in the games. But Paul, Eric Dier has also been left out of today's match day squad. How far do you think that extends? We haven't heard whether Ndebele, Lloris, people like that have also been left out. I mean, look, do you think we're finally... Is Ange Postecoglou laying down a marker to Eric Dier, do you think?
I think so. I mean, Eric Dier might be able to speak Portuguese and Italian, but he can't speak Australian. He can't sweet talk Ange. I think Ange has seen it. It looks like Ange has seen enough of him, and it's just been so great seeing time and time again this season. No Eric Dier anywhere near the sheet, and hopefully he's on his way out of the club, man.
I really hope so. And Amir, what's your thoughts on it about Eric Dier being left out of the matchday squad once again? That's every matchday squad this season.
Incredible news, if you're asking me. And then I've even heard more rumors. This is the thing. I don't even know if this is true, so it's hard for me to even say what I'm going to say. But I've heard him linked to Bayern Munich now. Have you guys heard anything about that?
It's embarrassing.
I mean, that just can't be serious, can it?
Why not? He's played for England, He scored a penalty.
Well, look,
I believe it comes from Save Solikol of Sky Sports. So,
if that happens, right, whoever's managed to do that deal has got the Midas touch, and you'd want to get in touch with him there and see if he can meet him. Because if that actually goes through, I mean, how in the world have we managed that?
Well, it'll be interesting to see whether they came calling or whether Tottenham have offered Eric Dier out. It's completely different if they're racking up interest in him. But look, there's a possibility there, right? Because they're sort of letting go of Pavard, but also they're talking about wanting a holding midfielder, and Dier can play centre back and centre midfield. So, it'd be interesting to see if maybe that's what they're looking to do with the guy. But however, I mean, please do. I mean, he's good friends with Harry Kane. Harry Kane needs a housemate, so take him.
Yeah. It's like we sold Harry Kane. He's like a sports car, and Eric Dier is just a pair of fluffy dice to hang in it. You know.
Yeah, for sure. Look, I just hope we can put an end to this saga. I really do. But it'd be interesting to see though whether Ndombele comes and gets any minutes, whether Lloris comes and gets any minutes. I think it'll be very interesting to see what that whole match day squad looks like. Amir, do you think we might see any sort of under 21s maybe be brought onto the bench with a view of maybe starting to look at them and give a couple of them minutes?
Do you know what? I'd love to see a couple of them on there. I don't know, with our bloated squad, I don't know if there'll be a space for one or two of them on there today. But personally, yeah, I would love to see. The other thing that I would love to see, speaking of Ndombele, is a one-way ticket to wherever that guy wants to go. Just get him the ticket. Ridiculous waste of money. He's been lounging around, stealing his wages for too long now. And he's another one. Needs to be shown the door. And hopefully by September the 1st, the saga is over with Mr. Ndombele.
You know what? I really do hope so, because, look, it's clear that Tottenham don't want him, but he wants to hang on, right? For, it's just really annoying. He wants to hang on to his paycheck right now, and anywhere that he sort of goes to, unless it is a Bayern Munich or Dortmund or somewhere like that, that's rumored to be interested. That guy doesn't want to leave. So for me, I hope he does. My dad said one thing that's ringing true to me. He says that Eric Dier thinks he's in Harry Kane's league, and the fact that he's trying to push for a move to Bayern, that probably proves that. But look, let Paul, realistically, right? And just come in. He's changed the vibe around the place. It's good. Everyone's happy. And also, you look at the team. They look energized. They look hungry. They look ready to sort of go. Can we win the Carabao Cup this season?
Oh, of course we can, man. Of course we can. And when in Angie's first season at Celtic, he was really keen to get the League Cup up there. Because he knew that the fans just wanted success, and he knows we want success. And I just don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna let us down. I mean, winning any cup's always hard, but I think we're going to give it a go, man. The treble's on.
Same question to you, Amir.
Yeah, look, I think we've got a great shot. Under Ange, honestly, I'm feeling re-energized, reinvigorated by the club. The vibes are good. The football's starting to look good, and I just think we've got to take it game by game. Go into this one. It's 90 minutes plus all this extra time that they've added on. Get the job done, 2-3-0, and let's move on to the next round and we see who we get there, But with this squad, under Ange, I think anything's possible, to be honest with you, David.
Look, tonight will give me the answer I need to know. Can some of these backup brigades, where they failed us in years gone by, can they come in and step up to the fore tonight? I'd argue they can. I think we've done enough rotation to get a lot of them bad eggs out who probably thought they were too good to play in these early rounds of the Cup. So tonight, I think will be a true test of it. And I think if we can get through it, beating a Premier League team, which would be a good test. They've got Man City on the weekend. Do they put that down as a loss and look to go full strength in the Cup tonight? Do they not? Do they rest players for the weekend? It'd be interesting to see what Fulham do on that regard. But for me, tonight will be the true test of really how good our strength and depth is. We could come out of it tonight going, do you know what? Look, we're all right for the season. We could come out of it going, I think we need to sign in a few more positions than what we first thought. So it'll be very, very interesting on that. Now, look, I will leave you two guys with the Richie and Richarlison and Son debate to give you something to talk about when I do go. But I do want to flash up the kit that we're playing in tonight for everybody. This is our new third kit. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of it. There's a lot of mixed reactions. Some people think it's gorgeous. Some people really don't like it. Me, I'd look like a ham sandwich in it, to be honest. So it's not really made for people like me. But look, Paul, I mean, Paul, what's your reaction to the kit? Do you like it? Do you think it's quirky? I mean, where are you at with it?
I think your Irish accent did it well, good service there by calling it our new turd kit. So I mean, it's just one for the hipsters, isn't it? It looks dreadful. It looks like it looks. You imagine your average Spurs fan down the pub. Maybe they've let themselves go a bit. It's not going to be very flattering. And if I ended up wearing one of that, it looked like I was wearing no shirt. It'd be like OnlyFans or something. It's horrible. No one wants to see that.
You could just tattoo the Spurs Crescent AIA on you. No one would know any
different.
Yeah,
just get a marker. Just get a texture out. I'll just go and stand in the sun for a couple of hours.
Paul, where do you think the inspiration for the colour choice came from?
Some marketing whiz kid at Nike's probably come up with this as I don't know. I think they're doing a bit too much go-y or something these days at Nike. I mean, look at it. You remember that years ago when Alex Man United played in that grey kit and they only played it. Yeah. That was it. Maybe this is it because it just looks. It doesn't look. You're not going to. I don't know if you're going to be able to pick players out the corner of your eye when they're just merging like that. It's awful.
Yeah. The thing Paul's alluding to, United were playing in the grey kits, and people were saying basically, it's hard to distinguish between the players on the pitch and the crowd, that they're blending in at times. And on an optics thing, Sir Alex Ferguson ended up speaking to some woman about, and she said you need to change the kit, and they did, and famously had no troubles really after that. So that's the story that Paul's alluding to. But yeah, we think Paul will be top of the queue, registering his interests for sure. I mean, Amir, where are you at on this, my man?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of this new kit. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I can't even figure out what kind of shade is going on and what it is. Just pick a color and go with it. Don't go in between. Doesn't look good to me. But to be honest with you guys, I really couldn't care less about the kit as long as we go out today and just absolutely demolish Fulham. Put a marker down on this cup. We are coming for you, Mr. Carabao Cup, and we are bringing the glory days back to White Hart Lane. That's what I'm interested in tonight, Dave.
Absolutely love it. Well, I just thought I'd get Amir and Paul's reaction before I bowed out because, look, me, I don't really like it. You put it on me, it'd be that stretched out. It'd look like I'm not wearing anything. So, but look, that's it from me today, guys. I'm going to leave you in the worthy hands of Paul and Amir to go through the live lineups with you guys and have a good discussion on the back of it. The lineups will be out in 1 moment's time. So, everyone, big yourselves up. Thanks very much for putting up with my whiny Irish accent for half an hour. I really do appreciate it. Amir, Paul, let's go. Come on, you Spurs. We never stop. Carabao Quest is on. See you all there. Come on, you Spurs.
Come on. See you later.
All right. So as David was alluding to there, if we see some changes, maybe up front, do you think this would be a good game for Richarlison to maybe get some confidence, or would you be giving them a bit of a rest and relaxation and trying something else up in the front three tonight?
Do you know what? This is the thing, Paul. I'm not into resting my main number 9. I need him on the pitch there getting goals, which he hasn't managed to do so far this season. So for me, this is the perfect match to just let him go out, have 90 minutes, get a full performance in there by Richie. And I'm really, I'm confident that he can nick a little goal. He was close with that header on the weekend. Can he go one better and get it in the back of the net? I think it's only a matter of time. And why not against Fulham, with the pace, hopefully, of the wingers coming in, supplying him, Lo Celso in there, hopefully. I think Richie's got a great chance of getting on the goal sheet tonight. What about you, Paul? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I was thinking the same as well, man. Just on the Irish Hotspur pump up, Brains McLeod was on it, and Brains is a striker, and he was more of the opinion maybe rest him, let him clear his head a bit, because if he's still, because he went downhill on the weekend. I thought he had a his first half I thought was okay. You know, his first touch was a lot better than it has been before, but then in the second half it just all seemed to get to him a little bit. So I don't know if he needs a rest because of that to get it out, or maybe it is better to keep on going and keep on trying, and maybe this is a good match. Fulham are playing Man City on the weekend. Actually, let me ask you, so Fulham are playing Man City on the weekend. Do you expect Fulham to take tonight's match seriously, or perhaps they might already think, oh, you know, we're going to lose against Man City, so you know, we've got nothing to gain there. Do you think they'll be going at us tonight, or do you think they'll be resting up a bit?
I think they're gonna not be resting up, but I can see them making quite a few changes to their normal side. Plus, they've got the manager, you know, booted off the touchline, and they've got the defender Bassi, however you say his name, out as well. So for me, there'll be quite a few changes in there, and I think they're there for the taking. To be honest, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if we really turn them over, you know, 2-3-0. That's kind of my view on it. And with City coming up, you know, you want your best players out there against City to give yourself a best shot at, you know, nicking a point or something against them. So I think they will be not resting up today, but it will be a little bit of a weakened Fulham side that you'd usually see.
Now, recent years, as you may know, we haven't been doing too well in these here cups. And, you know, despite the likes of Conte and Mourinho, serial winners, saying they want to win everything, you know, we've gone out early. Nottingham Forest last year in a terrible, terrible performance. So Ange, of course, is saying that we, you know, we're going to try and win it this year, just as we've heard before. What's different though? Do you think there's something different, or are we going to still be focusing on top four at the expense of cups?
Well, if we look at what Ange has done up in Scotland and over in Japan, you know, he likes to focus on these competitions and focus on the cups and bring home silverware. So I think you're going to see a completely different kind of performance that we're used to over the last 3-4 years in the cups, with the weakened sides and, you know, getting beaten just by, you know, lesser clubs basically coming out of the championship and beating us. It just shouldn't happen. You know, we should be putting those kind of teams to bed. So I'm thinking Andrew's getting them fully pumped. He knows that this is, you know, a chance at silverware. Look at what City did, you know, under Pep. They prioritized the Carabao. God knows how many times they've won it under his tenureship, but, you know, it's a lot. So I'm really hoping Ange does focus on this one. I think he will be.
All right, we're about to find out. Unfortunately, Tottenham had pinned their advert for the new kit to the top of their Twitter feed, but I scrolled down a bit, and here we go. Here's the starting lineup for tonight against Fulham. In goal, we've got Foster. Then that's a surprise. Right back, Royale. Centre half pairing of Sanchez in for Romero and Van der Ven. Left back, Ben Davies, who's been given the captain's armband. Wow, this is surprising. Wow. And then in midfield, Højbjerg, Skip, Lo Celso, and up front, your man Solomon. He's in, man. He's in. Let's go.
Come on.
Richarlison and Perisic. On the bench, we have Vicario, Romero, Udogi, Basuma, Maddison, Sarr, Kulusevski, Son, Scarlett. So we've got some big hitters on the bench there. What's your immediate thoughts on that lineup, Amir?
Well, the immediate thought, as soon as you got it up, was shock. I mean, a lot more changes there. Yeah, a lot more changes in there than I thought would be. So I'm a little bit shocked, but if I'm understanding Ange's logic here, he wants to see everyone and give everyone a chance, you know, while he's new and fresh at the club. So I think that he's put out a side that he believes can go out and win the match. And he believes enough in these players to give them a shot. So I'm actually really, really excited to see what this lot can do out there. Whereas in the past, you know, if this kind of lineup had come up under Conte, I would have been bricking it. I would have been bricking it. Honestly, yeah, honestly. So, you know, seeing it, yeah, it was a bit shocking at first, but I honestly think we're going to go out there and have a great game against them. And if Barcelona match is anything to go by, you know, this lot can do a thing or two, right?
Yeah, that's as I'm looking at the lineup, man. I mean, it's nine changes from the side that smashed over the opposition on the weekend, Bournemouth, and you're right. It is. It does look pretty similar to the lineup against Barcelona, which I thought we had a really good game against Barcelona. I know we lost it, but the lads hadn't been together that long, and also I think that Ange was trying to get minutes into players' legs in that game instead of really necessarily going all out for the win in that one. So we did fall a bit off towards the end. Now that bench there, how many? Do you know how many substitutes we've got in this competition? Is it still 5 or is it less?
I think it's still 5.
Still 5, man. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's still 5.
I mean, he's got the option there. And also these guys, I mean, maybe with the exception of, I guess, Sanchez, they're all trying to stick their hands up for the first 11 as well. So I think that competition's been really good for our squad this year. What do you make of the midfield there of Højbjerg, Skip, and Lo Celso?
I think that's quite balanced. To be honest with you, you know, Højbjerg and Skip there, they're used to playing with each other, so there's a bit of stability in there. And then you've just got Lo Celso coming in for Mada's spot to be that creative spark, which, you know, that was one change that I was pretty sure was going to be made. So I'll be very interested to see how he gets on after having a very decent preseason with a few goals. So yeah, I'm liking the look of that midfield, and the fact that we do have that much strength on the bench just fills me with confidence. Really, just to know, even, you know, God forbid someone nicks an injury or something happens early on, we've got players there who can come in and do fantastically. So I'm really pumped for this one, Paul, and I tell you, it's gonna be an enthralling tie down at Craven Cottage tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the thing, and like you're saying, if it isn't quite working out, we can pull the trigger. And I think one thing that I was really happy about on the Bournemouth game, it looks like Ange he's just on the money making his substitutions. I particularly liked it when Udogie went down with that injury, and we were 2-0 up, and Ange made a substitution just to keep the tempo of the game going instead of, treatment. It's just so nice to see a manager use substitutions to keep the game going instead of wasting time, time management and all that rubbish. Now, also tonight on this game, there's no VAR in action tonight. Are you interested to see how the match is going to play out with just the man in the middle?
Well, this is the thing, Paul, right? I'm of the belief that the level of refereeing since VAR has come in has actually dropped. So I'm really, really worried about the fact that there's no VAR there today. You know, it's going to be difficult for the official tonight because he's obviously used to playing with VAR. And when you've got that kind of backup there, you know, it does change sometimes your decisions that you're making on the pitch. So I'll be very, very hopeful that he has a good game, and a fair game. But I always think that when you have these non-VAR competitions, that you are going to see a few mistakes. So hopefully they can go our way.
One thing that is concerning me a little bit is Ben Davies in a left back. Maybe not so much captain, I guess, but being a left back. If Fulham are playing someone like Traore or whatever, Davies might be in for a tough old night. Do Do you think there's any players there that are going to help try and give Davies a bit of defensive cover? So how do you think that Davies will perform both in defence and also going forward? Is he going to be quick enough or skillful enough to do that inversion coming into the middle? What sort of game can you see him having, man?
Well, I'm hoping, with the captain's armband and being that leader on the pitch, I'm hoping he can lead from example and manage to him and Mickey on that side can manage the Traores and the wingers coming down there. And hopefully, in that inverted role, we all know that Ben can play a decent ball. He can play a good pass on him, and he does like to bomb forward. So hopefully he's going to have a great game. And, if that includes whipping in balls to Richie for him to get on the end of, that would be my dream scenario, because you've got Perisic there as well, who can whip in a mean ball and, loves assisting. So I'm hoping that he can link up with him as well and hopefully deliver some deadly balls into the box.
And I suppose he's nearly scored 2 goals this season. I'm counting that goal against Man United. I think it was a precision scuff to bamboozle the defenders. He's got a big football brain, Ben Davies. Now, up front though, how excited are you to see Manor Solomon take onto the pitch for the first time starting line up in a competitive game?
It's an absolute pleasure. It's a day I've been waiting for. I got a feeling against his old club he might manage to nick us something. He knows how to bang in goals down there at the Cottage. He's done it before. I know the talent of this kid. I know if he relaxes and he's calm and he's, just there to play his game and do his thing, he's gonna surprise a lot of Spurs fans tonight. I've got a sneaky feeling. And happy, just really delighted to see an Israeli play for Spurs again. First one since Ronnie Rosenthal.
Oh yeah, man, he was cool.
yeah, who I was lucky enough to see, growing up as a kid. So, it's fantastic for Solomon. And in general, actually, Israeli football, the young generation is on the up and up. Players just signed for Bayern Munich. You've got players out there on loan at Shakhtar Donetsk. So there's a big future there for Israel, and hopefully Manor will be leading that. So can't wait to see him. And I think it's also a huge night for Richie. If we can get him going, Paul. If he can just get that one goal to get him kick-started, it will only benefit us over the next few months with all the games coming up.
Yeah, it could be a chance for him. And I'd love to see him get his head straight. I think he was okay in the first half, but then he just lost his head. So, obviously, I think the fact that he's playing, I think Ange has seen that he's got his head together, and he's calming down a bit. And if we get the game under control, I wouldn't mind seeing Scarlett come on the pitch as well. Actually,
he's looking deadly.
Well, he scored, didn't he? So. It's an interesting lineup. What I'll do is I'll just see if I can find Fulham's starting line up here while we're at it.
Yeah, that would be interesting to have a look at.
Here we go. Oh, that's a lot of change. Well, any? Oh, actually, no, it's quite strong. Any thoughts on that?
Quite a strong one. I'm not seeing Vinicius there. Is he on the bench? I can't read the little writing there.
No. So the lineup for Fulham is in goal Rodak. Then we've got Tete, Diop, Ream, Robinson, Palhinha, Reed, Kearney, Adama, Muniz, and De Cordova Reed. On the bench, Leno, De Figueroles, Mbabu, Francois, Harris, Andreas, Wilson, Jimenez, and Vinicius is there.
All right. Interesting. It's an interesting side by Fulham. I mean, they've made a couple of changes there to what they would usually have in, but it's still a pretty strong side, You've got Paulinho in there, who's going to be dangerous. That bloody Adama Traore, we know what a nightmare he can be. We know the pace on that guy. Yes, he muddles his legs up a lot and, bobbles the ball out, but he's got blistering pace, and if he does get in behind us, that is a worry. Cordoba Reed as well is another one. I make sure we don't give too much time on the ball. He's pretty decent on the ball, but yeah, they're still there for the taking. Regardless of what 11 they're putting out, we should be going straight at them. Go straight for the throat. Straight for the jugular.
I mean, it's a team that, I mean, it says to me that Fulham are taking this seriously. So it could be a tough, exciting game. I think we're going to see a lot of football tonight, and I think Ben Davies is he's going to have his work cut out. I hope Van der Ven helps him out there. Unless maybe I've got that wrong. Could it be Van der Ven at left back and Ben Davies at centre half? Probably not. But at least it's an option on the pitch. If Adama starts skinning Ben Davies, then we might see them switch around if that's the problem area. What about Sanchez starting? How are you feeling about that?
Well, do you know what, Paul? After what we've seen of him in pre-season and stuff, I think he actually, was playing out of his skin, to be honest, Sanchez, making incredible recovery tackles with that pace that he has. Obviously, we've been burnt in the past before with him. That is the issue, right? We've seen him make horrendous mistakes and fall over in very, how shall I say, interesting circumstances. So it always is going to be a little bit more of a worry when you have a Sanchez in there instead of Romero. But I'm just hoping for him, after all his troubles that he's had, and the crowd getting on his back and whatnot, and the booing and all that kind of thing. I really hope. I think he's a good lad, Sanchez, and I really, really want to see him succeed. So for me, I think he's going to do all right tonight there. And alongside Mickey van der Ven, there's a lot of pace in there. They'll be able to make recovery and challenges. And I just hope for his own sake and for us that we can get a great performance out of Davinson tonight. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, I think, barring Barcelona, where he's a little bit ropey, he seems to be more suited to this style. So when we're, last year when we're all sitting back and just absorbing pressure, you're more likely to get a player running onto you one-on-one. He was a bit woeful. I never really questioned his effort, just his skill. He just wasn't good enough. Yeah. But the way we're playing now is we're all in the other half of the pitch. Sanchez has shown that he's got the speed to get back, and so when he's running that way, taking on a player on, and he's been timing his challenges in pretty well. Usually when he tackles, though, he's not the best at progressing play, but with Van der Ven next to him to help mop up and get the ball going again, I think he'd be all right. And we got Foster in goal. I'm surprised at that one, I must admit. I think Vicario's been on fire. He didn't have too busy a weekend, wasn't tested too much, so I thought he would have been playing. But what do you make of Foster starting out between the sticks, man?
Well, I think he's always done all right when he's come in for us, even when he's been there, as number one. I think he's always come in and he's done a job. So I don't see a reason why he can't come in today and do a job. He's good at coming out for crosses and corners and stuff like that. He's a very big guy. So, that's an advantage for us. I was a bit shocked, though, with him coming in, to be honest, because Big Vic has been doing so well and has been on a run of clean sheets now. So for me, he would have been a guaranteed on-starter, but it must be something to do with squad cohesion and getting everyone playing and Ange wanting to see a bit of everyone, that he believes in him and has stuck him in there for this one. So, yeah, I think he'll get along fine tonight, Paul.
All right, well, I'm excited. I think some of the best football games are when you don't know what's going to happen. And, I could go either way. I do like we've got a bit of firepower coming off the bench just to bail us out in case we're rubbish. But I'm hoping this is the start of a run of being in the mix of these trophies. I don't care who's on the pitch. Ange is going to be telling them to win the game and not let Fulham get any breathing space. So before we go here, Amir, what's your final score prediction, and where can people find you, man?
No worries, Paul. Well, I'm going with a 3-0 win. I think we're going to get another clean sheet. We're going to absolutely demolish them today. Got a feeling we're going to see a great performance, 3-0 win, and on to the next round. What about you, Paul? What do you see the scoreline being?
Maybe if you could just keep talking for another minute. I just want to get the link to your channel so I can put it in the chat, man.
Oh yeah, no worries, Paul. No worries. That's the professionalism that we see here on We Are Tottenham TV. So yeah, I'm feeling so pumped for this one. I'm really excited. The cup games are back. Ange Ball is back. The more we get, the more the merrier, in my opinion. And it's been a long time since I felt this buzz to come and watch Spurs again. So it's lovely having that. And yeah, under Ange, I think anything's possible. This could be our first little step on the road to Wembley Way. Long may that continue. So
it could be, man. I'm excited about it. So here's Amir's channel, Israel Uncovered. Get over there and show him a little bit of love. My prediction, I'm going. Well, I don't know about after seeing that starting lineup. I was going 2-0, and I think we're going to let something in. So I'll go 2-1. I want Richie to get on the scorecard, and hopefully Manuel Solomon might pop up and get one in as well. He's an exciting player. I think I can see why you're into it. I'd never heard of the guy before I saw him put on a Spurs shirt, and I think he's a bit of a Swiss Army knife up front, that guy. So I'm going 2-0, man. I'm going 2-0, and you can find me at Hotspur Hippie, my YouTube channel, which is going really well. Any subscriptions are appreciated. We Are Tottenham TV are going to be back with a blow-by-blow commentary, which you might not have any choice. You might have to watch them, because I can't believe it's not on TV in England. That's ridiculous.
It's a joke. Honestly, it's scandalous.
It's the only all Premier League fixture. And they're showing, what is it? Bodlington versus, I don't know, Gateshead or something. I don't know what they're showing. It's just sort it out, Sky, you idiots.
Yeah.
Well, so the boys will be back on We Are Tottenham TV in 20 minutes with a watch along. Very exciting. I love hearing Spurs fans commentate on our games. It's much better than watching TV and hearing someone like bloody Martin Keown go on a bit, droning on. He makes me pull my ears off my back, off the sides of my head, that guy. So until next time, man. Until next time, I'll say peace and love, man. Peace and love. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on.